Do you want to know what's better than building one Picaro 2.0? Building two Picaro 2.0s at the same time. We've got the race-ready Picaro 2.0 and the Picarito purple and green version behind us. So previously we did a Picaro build, so we're not going to do a detailed build again. What we're going to do in this build is we're just going to do a quick overview, probably one episode, and we're just going to focus on the differences. If you are interested in the detailed build, check the previous Picaro build that we did. I'll put a link down below in this video description to the playlist for the Picaro aircraft, and that's where all the videos are posted. So we'll keep this brief, we'll keep it concise, we won't do a lot of repetitive stuff, we'll focus on the differences, and that's where we're going. So initially, one of the differences is the engine choice. So both of these Picaros are pretty much being built the same way as the previous one. There's going to be some small differences like servo choice on mine, but the previous aircraft, we put a Chikoi 195 in. These two are getting the 160. A lot more appropriate engine size for this size aircraft. Still going to be a rocket, but well, it's not going to be ridiculous like the first one. So for mine, we've got the full Revic bag set. So we've got the wing bags, also have the fuselage bag hanging out back there. And for the purple one, we've got a set of purple wing bags, just the wing bags for that model. First thing we're going to do on these aircraft is pull all the internals out and get the inside painted black. That's going to be the first step. The tanks are all essentially the same setup, so we're going to pull the tanks out, pull our trays out, all that stuff, and get the front portion of the fuselage painted black. Now we are keeping the stock pipe because we're using a more appropriate sized turbine, and one of the first things I notice here is the cutout. So I think we'll be able to get the engine in here with the tanks in place. Anyways, with the smaller engine, it's going to be a little bit more appropriate size. So the stock pipe, carbon bell mouth, nice thick pipe. The other running change with the Picaro is the double horns everywhere. So on the first one that we did, we had a single horn. We added the double horns. Now the double horns are standard. On mine, there's no little cutout here for the rudder surface. On David's here, we've got the cutout, so we'll add that to mine. Just helps to ensure that you get proper travel on that rudder surface. As mentioned, our primary focus is going to be touching on all the differences. So on the first one we built, we had to remove the bung fitting to get the tanks out. On this one, they've opened up the holes a little bit, so the tanks just pop out like that. All right, so now we've got both fuselages split. One of the big differences we're gonna do with my Picaro versus David's Picaro is Elite Aerosports sent me the wiring harness for this kit. Now I generally don't like using I don't like using wiring harnesses that aren't done by me, so this is gonna be a bit of a stretch for me, but I've always wondered how much these wiring harnesses weigh. So these have the amp connectors, which are, you know, a little bit, I mean, I think it's pretty negligible. It's pretty minor, but we've got a bunch of extra wires on these wiring harnesses that we won't necessarily be using. So for example, this is the rear part of the fuselage, and we've got two light leads here, which is fine. And then we've got our tail section leads here. On the main fuselage one, so this guy, so where this connector joins to, you've got the same kind of thing happening. So we've got three leads for our elevator rudder, and then we've got these two guys for future expansion. Well, I know on this plane we're not going to be running anything in the back end, no lights, none of that kind of stuff. So one thing we can do, I was thinking about, is if we just cut the power leads off of this side and pull them out, we'll be essentially saving all that weight. So I think I'm going to do that. But this is going to be a great test because these planes are essentially set up almost identical. The only real difference is a few servos and the UAT size, but our final nose weight and everything is going to be the same. It's going to be a real telltale whether the custom harness is, you know, the same weight as doing the harness I would normally install, or what it is. So it's going to be a cool comparison of the weight of the Picarito, the purple one there, with power box wire and very minimalistic leads, and then my Picaro with the stock lead, which also is very heavy duty wire too. So cool comparison, looking forward to it. So keep an eye out for that weight difference at the end of the video. So now that we've got both of these fuselages stripped out, we're going to start prepping it off to paint the inside of the fuselage black. Same thing we did on the previous one, only doing the front portion of the fuselage. All right, so inside of fuselages are painted black, and inside of canopy is painted black. Now I use gloss black in here. I like the look of it better. Just that's purely what it's for. Both the same exact paint. And then I like the flat black in the fuselage. Again, I think it just looks better. Avoided the nose section pretty much because it's almost impossible to get in there. So yeah, unfortunately that's as far as we can go with that. I can get in there with a brush and do a little bit of touch-ups, so that's an option as well too. And then also going a step above and beyond and painting the control arms. So all the ones on my Picaro are all black, so they all line up with black spots on the various surfaces. And then on the Picarito, we are going to paint them purple. So I've got a purple that is almost the exact same color, so we'll use that. And unfortunately on the vertical here, it's green. So I think we're probably going to paint that with purple because it fits the scheme. I don't have any greens that are that lime green, so. And then I'm assuming it's on the wings is going to be very much the same solid purple on the underside. All right, it's servo time, guys. I'll talk to you about the layout here we've got for the servos. So David's Picaro, very simple. We've got 9930s everywhere, and we are using a 1220 from MKS on the nose. So that setup's pretty simple. Mine's a bit of a mix mash because I've got servos that I really have been wanting to use since I came back from Jet Power. So at Jet Power, I got some servos from Chaw Servo. These are bad mamma jamma servos that I've been waiting to put in an aircraft, and I haven't built one for myself that deserve these things since. So these are obviously super overkill for this plane. We've got 63 kilograms at 8.4 volts. We've got an 8mm output shaft, comes with this big massive arm. The output is also on the back of the servo rather than the side, which is very cool. I was excited to see that when I saw these for the first time. And then a big 5mm hex bolt to bolt the arm on. So we're not using this guy. We are using our setup that we used on the previous Picaro. So we've got all the servo arms laid out here. So my layout is 3 6mm. Hi, Nez. Hi, buddy. Nezzy just woke up, so she wants some 11. So mine is 3 6mm for the MKS servos, and then these 2 8mm shafts. These are MKS hubs and everything for the Chaw servos, which is an 8mm output. So this is what we use on the Picaro. Such a great setup. And then this is the arm that pairs with it. And we use the various locations of the output shafts, depending on the surface that we're installing that on. So that's kind of my initial setup. These guys are going on the elevators. On my rudder, I'm using a 599 servo from MKS, and I'll also be using the same servo on my ailerons. So we just did our servo cycle on this guy. That's why it's hooked up to our jetty box. And then for mine, I am using the DS820 from Chaw as well. And this is for my nose steering. Good servo, very similar to the 1220 by MKS as far as specs and everything goes, so that'll be a great steering servo. And then my flap servos, I've got these guys from previous, so I'm using these on my flaps. Now, one thing that you may or may not know is KST and Chaw Servo are made in the same factory. So just something to be aware of. The KSTs and these guys share a lot of the similar technology and everything. So we've used KSTs on previous aircraft and have been very happy with them. Haven't tried Chaw Servo yet, so that's why we're trying these guys out. So that's kind of the mix mash servo setup on my Picaro. I installed the wiring harness, which is a breeze, absolutely a huge time saver, so that's awesome. And we're just getting this guy set up first with all of our surfaces. All right, so tails of both aircraft are now complete. On the red Picaro, that one is bolted in place. I just did the turbine mounting for the purple Picaro. And one thing I added here was a little hole there to reach the rear turbine screw. And because of the Chicoys, the tail cone's so small, these sit back nice and far compared to a lot of other turbines. Everything worked really well on the tail section. I found the centering or the position of the cutout for the rudder surface or the servo arm is definitely more centered now. It was skewed a little bit previously, so that's one of the running changes. Otherwise, we're ready to pretty much bolt this thing together. So we painted inside the tail cone there just to make it all black instead of leaving it unfinished. And our servo arms have been painted as well too. So on this one, they're all purple, and on this one, they are all black. So on this Picaro, we ended up, on this Picarito, we ended up using our power box wire, standard stuff, snakeskin. There's an ash lock connector right here at the fuselage. So that's going to allow, if you ever need to take this rear part off, to be able to separate it. So we'll put the other side of the ash lock here, and those wire leads will run forward. All right, so we've got the harness for my Picaro installed, and my wings are complete. Now, one thing I'm going to do with this harness is, this is the, of course, the amp connectors, so those are all in place and everything, which is good. We've run the wires to the front portion here. Now, these wires are really long, right? So what we're going to do, I'm probably going to cut the covering back, put a new piece of shrink tube on there, and then we'll cut all these wires down, because if we chop all this stuff off, that's going to be a pretty substantial weight savings. And the other thing we've been doing, of course, is keeping all of the wire that we've taken out of the wiring harnesses. So this is everything we've removed from the wiring harnesses. Now, that's one of the benefits of using this wiring harness, is that you can keep it intact if you want, but if you want to save some weight, like this, you can pull out whatever you're not using, and there's lots of pre-wired stuff in there, like for lights and everything, so that's why we're taking it all out. So it's going to be a pretty substantial weight savings, I think, at the end when we take all of these pieces that we've pulled out and weigh it up. It'll be interesting to see. So now with the green Picarito, we are getting the wiring harnesses done. So this is the one for the wing side. I basically have copied the lengths because it worked very well on the wings. So the wings for the red one are complete. The wings for the green one are now underway. So first of two wings is complete on the purple model. So everything's done on this wing, which is the right wing. Nothing out of the ordinary, other than, of course, on this one, we're using our ash lock connectors. So that's done. Now this is flipped around compared to how I normally would do it. And the reason for that is, of course, we're using our ash lock holders, which are going to be on our website soon. So this is the ash lock holder, very nice unit. So the wing side just clips in. You've got access to the little clip there, and those are designed by Joe at RC Custom 3D Printing. So we've got those sides mounted already, and we've got our leads done up and run forward, which we've talked about. So that's awesome. So we're going to finish off the second wing. Now, the only struggle really with this wing is getting the aileron servo in. That's the worst part of this wing. It's tough. So what I'm actually using here is a small little ratchet with an appropriate bit. And when you're doing these two screws, that's the worst two. The bottom one is okay because you've got about a 1/12 of your ratcheting that you can get at. When you do the top one, you kind of get one click and push, one click and push, which on this tiny ratchet isn't very much. So it takes a long time to get that screw in, but it is possible. The first Picaro I did was a real struggle. This one's better because I've done it before. So anyways, we're gonna get this wing matching to that one. All right, so both of the beautiful purple wings are complete now, and they are looking wonderful. All right, so it's time to move on to the fuselage now. I just want to share the wiring stuff here with you guys. So we still have all of this wire to shorten up, just to eliminate some weight where we don't need it. And I just weighed our wire bundle that we've taken out already, and we've lost 1/3 of a pound just with this. So I'm really curious to see what our final weight savings is. So if you are using the stock wiring harness, it's awesome quality. I've been very impressed with it so far. I'm happy with the thick wires as well. But if you do want to build a lightweight plane and you are taking or you're concerned about weight, obviously you can take all the wires you're not using out. You know, the plane's really not going to notice half a pound, especially on something like this. But you know, where I fly up at elevation, we do notice it. Our engines always have less power. So, you know, this 160 that I have might operate as like a 140 in my plane. So anyways, just something to consider. So let's strip down these front wires and see how much weight we're going to save overall. All right, red Picaro, we've got all of our wires shortened. We've got all power box ends installed. Just use the same labels, so I slid those guys down. We shortened up the snake skin to be closer to the base there, and that's all done. So quite a bit of wire taken out of here. Those all were to this point and then loopable back, so quite a bit of wire. Nazi Poo, we're gonna get you. All right, so this is our wire bundle we pulled out of that Picaro. So this is everything. We're not going to take out any more wire. All of our wire is removed now. I've been waiting for this point. This is quite the football. Obviously, we've got a couple wraps of tape on there, which is not a big deal at all. We're going to turn our scale on and weigh this thing. So 237 grams pulled out of the wiring harness. 1 pound is 454 grams. So essentially, by pulling all these wires out that we didn't need or weren't going to use, we saved half a pound. I feel like we're going to be much closer in the wire battle between the green Picarito and the red Picaro with that change. All right, guys, and we're gonna wrap up the condensed Picaro build series here. That's going to end video number 1. We got lots accomplished. Obviously, our wings are done, tail section's done. The next video, we'll wrap this thing up, test run these guys, and get them rocking and rolling. So obviously, as we've talked about, we lost a ton of weight on the stock wiring harness. So it will be, I'm still very interested to see the difference between these two when they're said and done. We got the organizing to do now, and basically the equipment layout is the next thing to accomplish. So lots still to do, so stay tuned for video number 2 in the series. Just want to give a shout out to channel members. Thank you, channel members, for what you do. If you're watching this and you're wondering what channel membership is, it's a paid thing, but channel members get the opportunity to see our videos early before they're released on YouTube. So that's the benefit of channel membership. There is some links down below to check that out. We'll see you guys in the next video. I'm very excited to see everybody at Turbines and Tumbleweeds in Sweetwater, Texas, October 2nd to October 5th, 2025. See you there.